Someone kept leaving notes in my locker. It started in the most normal way possible. I opened my locker one morning, expecting nothing more than my books and a headache from another boring school day. But instead, taped neatly inside was a small folded piece of paper. At first, I thought it was trash. Then I opened it. "You're doing better than you think. Don't give up." I looked around immediately. The hallway was loud, crowded, and chaotic, but nobody was looking at me. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was acting suspicious. I told myself it was probably meant for someone else, so I threw it away. The next day, there was another note. "I saw what happened yesterday. You didn't deserve that." That's when my stomach dropped, because something had happened yesterday. Something nobody should have noticed. I'd messed up during a presentation, and the class laughed. I laughed too, pretending it didn't hurt, but it did. And somehow, someone saw through that. This time, I kept the note. From that day on, the notes never stopped. Some were short. "Drink water today. You forget when you're stressed." Some were comforting. "You don't have to be strong all the time." Some were unsettling. "You looked really tired this morning. Try to sleep earlier." That one scared me, because it meant whoever was leaving them wasn't guessing. They were watching. At first, the notes became the best part of my day. On days I felt invisible, they reminded me that someone noticed me. On days I felt useless, they reminded me that I mattered. But slowly, the comfort turned into curiosity, and curiosity turned into fear, because I started asking myself one question over and over: how do they know so much about me? I tried everything to catch them. I came to school early. I stayed late. I checked my locker during lunch. Nothing. The notes always appeared when I wasn't looking. I even told myself it could be a teacher, or maybe a friend trying to stay anonymous. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. One afternoon, I got a note that changed everything. "Tomorrow will be hard. I'm sorry." That was it. No encouragement, no comfort, just a warning. The next day, I found out what it meant. A rumor about me spread through school, something completely false. Something humiliating. People whispered when I walked past. Some laughed. Others avoided me completely. I wanted to disappear, and when I opened my locker, there was another note. I didn't want it to happen like this. My hands were shaking. That's when I realized something terrifying. The person leaving the notes didn't just know about my life. They were somehow connected to what was happening. I couldn't ignore it anymore. That same day, I pretended to leave school early, but instead, I hid near the lockers after the hallway emptied. Minutes passed. Then footsteps. Someone walked up to my locker. They hesitated. Then they reached out and taped a note inside. I stepped forward. They froze. Turned around. My heart stopped. It was the last person I expected. Someone I barely noticed. Someone quiet. Someone who always sat alone. They looked terrified, like they'd been caught doing something unforgivable. "I'm sorry," they said, their voice shaking. I didn't know how else to help. That's when the truth came out. They had been bullied before. They recognized the signs in me, the fake smiles, the silence, the way I tried to disappear. They started leaving notes because no one did that for them when they needed it most. But the rumor? They didn't start it. They overheard it and were too scared to stop it. The guilt ate them alive. That's why the notes changed. That's why the apology. We stood there in silence. And in that moment, I realized something important. Sometimes the people who help you quietly are fighting battles louder than your own. We didn't become best friends overnight, but we became something better, honest, and the notes stopped. Not because they weren't needed anymore, but because we finally talked,